What is up, everyone? So, I don't look great, but when is that ever the case? So, this is an interesting video, and you might think it's a bit harsh, you might think it's not harsh enough, but here's what I feel like saying. This is kind of a video targeted at guys who wonder why they're single and who lament the fact that every girl they like don't feel the same way about them. Now, there could be a broad spectrum of variables that I'm not addressing, but this is kind of a broad point. With those exceptions acknowledged, let me go into my video. So here's the thing. You might be one of those dudes like me who the girls you like don't like you back. And the girls you like, they might not even be like supermodels, or they might be regular girls. But for whatever reason, you seem to be a victim of unrequited love. And you're kind of in this romantic purgatory, you might feel. And you're wondering, when is that going to end? And you might have some illusory habits that perpetuate that, which leads me into my next declaration. The reason you're single, and the reason why they don't ever feel the same way about you, is because of you. Now you might think, but you don't know about this or that or all these things that are out of my control. And who knows, you could be right, but that's the thing. You can't focus on the things that are out of your control. If there's something that's out of your control, that's that. You can't beat yourself up about that, but what you can do is address the things that you are in control of. And it feels like common knowledge, and I shouldn't have to say this, and I'm speaking just as much to myself and as I am to other people who maybe they didn't realize this yet. But it is all on you. You got to ask yourself, do I look good? And you don't even have to be handsome, but are you trying to look good? And I kind of, have this unkept appearance to sort of drive that point home. My bad. It's like, are you trying to look like a prospective match? And also, what are you doing to make yourself appeal to a woman? Like, what kind of job do you have? Like, what kind of future can she see with you? And these are things that you can change. Now, if you've got a medical disability or something like that, fair enough. But here's the thing. I've seen people who have had a rough time in life. They have gone through hell. And I've seen them persevere. I've seen them turn themselves around. They worked in spite of that. One of the most inspiring things I ever saw was this video on the Joe Rogan podcast where this guy who was a paratrooper in the military, his knees, they were just wrecked because he jumped from so many flights and it just did a number on him. But I saw him do some extreme yoga, and before he had to walk with crutches, then he was sprinting, and then he got really fit. And it's like, if that dude can do that, what can you do? There is this thing of, love yourself for who you are as a person. Definitely we need to look at the inside, the heart of a person. That is of the primary importance. But that doesn't mean you can't try to look good, or you can't try to be better than you are right now. I would even say, if you really do have something on the inside, if it's not motivating you to make yourself better, you've got to ask the question, how good are you really? And that's a truth, a very hard truth, that I've had to look at for myself. So, yeah. I know it's really easy to get fast food and kind of satiate temporarily those emotional and existential things. It's a quick fix. But is that really making you happy? And is it going to make you happy in the long term? Eat better. Because that food, it's not going to make you feel better in the long term. It's just going to be night after night of a meal to try to help you forget. And what else? Do you work out at all? Even if it's very minimal. Heck, if you could just go on like an 80-minute walk around the neighborhood or somewhere, you don't even have to go that fast. That's something where your body is doing something. And yeah, you can do push-ups, even if they're janky ones. If you're doing something, it's going to get better. You'll realize one day, oh, it's not as hard as it used to be. Sit-ups. Again, they might be terrible at first, but, do some, and eventually they will get better. And it's like, what kind of job do you have? Like, you don't have to be a millionaire or insanely rich. But if you want a serious long-term relationship, okay, here's the thing. If you see a future with a girl and you want a family, if she gets pregnant, that is a very vulnerable thing, very vulnerable state to be in. And she's going to rely on you to, for the resources and stuff. And I'm getting this from all over the political and ideological spectrum. It's just a fact that, if you're with a woman and, y'all both contribute to resources, and, once she gets pregnant, that might be a factor that affects her ability to make income. And so you've got to step up and help out. So it's like, what are you doing to improve your prospects financially? Are you learning any sort of trade skill, getting a degree, something? Heck, you don't even have to go to college to make good money, but you have to aim towards something that will help you out. So it's like, yeah, I guess I don't want to say incels because that seems much more fiery and consists of more rhetoric, but if you're that dude who's wondering, I'm the victim of unrequited love, first of all, get rid of the word victim, and in a sensible way, you have to say, I've got to step it up. I've got to be better. I'm not doing enough. And even if you are already in a really rough situation, you've got to have the strength to be able to say, I'm not doing enough. But not just say not doing enough, you have to take that and motivate yourself to do something. Because if you are lonely, if you want someone to look at you with that look of adoration that you look at them with, then it's going to be on you to try to change that. And I do think there's a deeper level that I think that deep down inside you see undesirable qualities in yourself. And one of the reasons why love can hit you so hard is because you see all those good qualities that you don't have in someone else, and it's easier to pine after them and wish for them to be with you. That way you don't have to try for those qualities. That way you don't have to make the change in yourself. But the thing is, would that person really want to be with you? Because if they've got all these good qualities that you don't have and they're with you, that's just going to bring them down. So they want to be with somebody at their level who also have those good qualities. So yeah, take this advice for what you will, because that's what I'm trying to do to change myself, change things for me. I hope this helps somebody. If it hurts, I hope it hurts enough to spur you into action, because I'm going to try to change myself. So it's not just me saying this and then not doing anything. I'm going to change. So here's to all y'all's future success.